Welcome to the channel 831 Bienvenidos al canal. Hoy vamos a pintar un árbol. Today we're whitewashing a tree, except if you've been following, you know I don't do white paint. I don't like the look of it, so I do light brown. I use the tree paint and then wash it down with water. 1 part paint, 1 part water. And today we have a lamb has from El Capulín Nursery in a 15. Es un 15. Un 15 de Capulín Nursery. Vivero Capulín, $85. Esos precios no los vas a encontrar en ningún otro lado. Aquí en el centro de California. You're not going to find these prices in the northern central coast. These are southern growing ground prices. So every time a customer or someone requests a big tree, I go to them. So it's gonna be a light shaping. Let me see if I can bring you in. There's really not much. There's just a intersecting branch in the middle. That one right there. You see them rubbing? You see these two rubbing up against each other? And then this one's all charred up. It's all burnt. It's still pushing growth at the end of it, but I just don't like that it's intersecting with another one. Not intersecting, but so close it's already rubbing. So I'm just gonna snip that one. Snip this. Spray it with the liquid cop that I formulated earlier. And then paint. So here we go. Get in there. That's it. That was it. There's two, and then a third one right there laying up on the ground, but I'm gonna stake it up. I'm gonna tell my coworker, I sourced this for my coworker. So I'm gonna ask him to stake the third limb up. You know I like the 4 limbs. I like 4 limbs, each pointing towards the cardinal point, north, south, west, east. So I have 3. It's good enough. It's tall, 4 feet tall. Let me lift up this other one so you see it. It's this one that needs to be staked up. It's about like 2.5 feet tall. So once again, let's paint. I'm just gonna hit it with the liquid cop on the wound. I'm not gonna spray the whole tree, just the wound. I only did 1 cut, 1 shaping cut. I opened up that center, that middle, there was a limb that was rubbing up against another one. And that's it. Light spray. And I'm coming in with the paint. I normally have like a plastic water bottle, but I don't have one right now, so I put it in this disposable plate. So get the brush and paint. I normally wouldn't have even painted trees this big in a 15. The root system should be able to keep the tree hydrated, but there's just a lot of, the nodes are not stacked pretty tight. They're spread too far apart where the sun is going to penetrate and char the trunk up. I want to avoid that. So I paint it. They say it also helps with extremes, cold and hot. So that's usually one of the first things I do. I paint a tree. And so far so good. Everything that I've put down, any avocado tree that I've put down, it hasn't died. When normally a lot of people struggle. So here we go. Painting. Have some buds right here. Some buds right here, so it should fill out. But the flowers can sometimes make them defoliate. And they defoliate anyways. They refresh their leaves annually. So when you see them browning up and falling off, don't be alarmed. That's their typical growth pattern. I get a lot of calls, oh, there's brown leaves and it's falling. I was like, as long as it's pushing new growth, as long as the buds are swollen and it looks like new growth's about to come out, you're good. So we just paint. Again, it's just mainly the two bilateral ones that are coming up in the middle. And even then, when I plant it, I'm gonna open it up. This one to the left, and then this one pull it to the right. I want to open it up. All right. So let me get in here, get this done real quick, and then we're moving on to shape pruning and spraying my pluots and apriums. My pluots and aprium trees do have scale. It's first year in ground, and this time when they break dormancy and they come back around, hopefully they don't get that. So yeah, look at it from different angles, because you're always gonna miss a spot. I always do. And then the underside, since it's gonna be staked up. something light. So it has 3 big ones, and then it has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 little branches that could potentially become the 4th one. So I'm just gonna let the tree decide which one it wants to make that one be the 4th, because sometimes it selects against a branch and it dehydrates and dies. That's also normal. So if you see a branch die, don't worry too much. As long as it's overall healthy, it just could have chosen to go in another direction. They still vigor from each other. So if it's not strong enough, it's gonna die. Alright, that should be good. Just a light little paint. Up here, the node stacking is pretty tight. It's tighter. So it should, once the buds push and there's more foliage, it should be able to defend itself. So I'm not too worried. I'm not painting all the way up. Just in these long stretches, like from here to here. And that should be good. I'm just gonna go ahead and paint it. Sometimes customers freak out when there's like setbacks. They get all emotionally attached, but I say if it gets charred up, it just serves as a natural prune. They're gonna push back and come back even stronger, bushier, shorter. I like to keep my trees short. Fruit within arm's reach, 2-step up ladder at most. All right, that was a tree once again. 15-gallon from El Capuli Nursery, $85. Quick walk around. And that should be good. Now we're going over to the pluots and the apriums. I know it's hard to see, but this is the aprium, Flavor Delight aprium. Next to a pluot, 2 in the hole. I want them to fuse like this, planted 20 inches apart, and then I want them to do this, kind of dance around each other. So I'm gonna prune, then I'm gonna spray. in between trees, disinfect. And let me get a flashlight. So these two, they had shot hole. It's not dangerous for the tree, it just looks ugly. The leaves have a hole in them. So I'm gonna spray the liquid cop mixed with the horticultural oil. It's already formulated. I formulated it earlier. Okay. So this limb right here, coming up right here, you want underside swooping. So I'm looking for a bud pointing in this direction. This direction. So it looks like this one. Bam. And then this one, I'm going to take it off so that it focuses pushing here. This one, it's not intersecting with anything else. Wanted to continue to push in this direction. So again, I look under and look for a bud that's pointing in this direction. That one. This one, if you can see right there, it makes that X. That's intersecting. It's like low, where it probably wouldn't even touch each other, but I don't want this little one shading this thicker one. So I'm gonna cut this one at the collar. Delete. And then this one, where you can see, it's gonna run into that one. Again, it's so low, they're not gonna touch, but it will shade. So I really don't want to delete it, so I'm gonna leave it on this bud right here. Can't even see. Leave it on that bud so that it starts pushing this way. It forks this way. Now I'm on this one. This was last year's. Can't see. It's too bright. This is last year's pruning. And we continue. I lift it. Look for one right here. Bam. And then this one's angled way down. It's gonna grow towards the ground. So at the collar is that right there. There's like swollen neck right there. I don't want to get too close to the trunk stem. I just want to snip it right there at the collar, at that nub. And then this one, this is vertical growth. Delete. This one, oh, look at that. It's already waking up. So let's cut it at the collar. Now we come to this one. This one intersecting. It's hard to see, but this one will intersect eventually or shade this one. So delete. Too close. That was too close, guys. Too close. Here, let me bring you in. Where was that? So this one, I go for under swooping, and this one's just kind of on top. So delete at the collar. And then this one's the under swooping one. Kind of staying out of each other's way. So I'm gonna leave 2 at the end of this one. That one. And right there. I'm kind of in a rush to spray. I'm behind. Earlier I saw a bud, a flower bud. It looked like it was already about to, not burst, but it was just there. So I really should have been doing this earlier. But I'm trying to spray at least 3 times before it wakes up. And so right here, hold on, good. YouTube struggles. There. So anything growing in that direction, that's going to intersect with the neighboring tree at this point, the emerald drop, I'm going to delete. So delete, delete, delete. And this is vertical growth, straight up vertical growth. This would have been flowers. It would have held fruit, but that's not my priority right now. This is a youngling. This is a 1-year youngling in the ground. So I'm just trying to establish the roots. And then this one is pointing straight down to the ground. So delete that. Okay, now I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 off of this one limb. Now I come under this one. Look for the one that's pushing in this direction. Bam, right there. You want to keep them out of each other's way. Right here. And then right there. There's something back there, injured, broken branch. And then this one. There's nothing here. You see this other one's all the way over here. So really I'm trying to use these limbs to fill in this space in this direction. Shout out to the 3 people that stayed loyal. Comment down below. What do you grow? Where are you from? What are you looking for? I can help you find the tree of your dreams. All right there. Okay. So that was the pruning. Of the Flavor Delight aprium. Flavor Delight. Next, Emerald Drop. Again, disinfect, even though I know whatever this tree has, this tree also has. They both have the shot hole. But just to be consistent with it. Okay, here we have this one. Ooh, I've been thinking about this one for some time, dude. Let's see, I don't know what direction I'm gonna go. Like this one's under here is stronger. I could set it back down. I could come out like all the way back down to down that way, but it might be too much. I try not to cut more than 50%. So here we go. This one right here. Right there. Bam. Right there. This one's gonna run into this one over here. So intersecting branch, delete. This one's gonna run into this one, delete. Even though you see, that's flower. These are flowering spurs right here. Or not spurs, just flowering buds. Spurs are like on apple trees. Or maybe they could be on apricots, I'm not sure. And then this little one just pointing down. Alright. And again, this one down the line is gonna run into this one. So this one at the collar. Put the tie. I usually leave like 2, max 3 off of one limb. It's a young tree, so I don't leave too much. This one intersecting with that one. So this one's gonna run into this one. So bye-bye. And then I'm at this fork right here. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just gonna eliminate the weaker one because the weaker one sometimes won't gain vigor over a stronger one. They'll just stay weenie forever. So it's kind of tight. Ideally I want to get closer, but there. And then now this one, again, I'm coming under. I come under here and I look for one pointing in this direction. Under swooping bud pointing in this direction. This way, this way. So I see it, it's right there. This one. Coming back down. Bam. And this one's pointing down. Angled down. So I'm gonna, yeah, 2's fine. If I leave 2's fine, I don't need 3. I'm gonna leave it. Like if I would want it to pick up, I could leave it on a top bud. Instead of an under, I could leave it on a top. It could come up, but then I would need to train it. So, but now I'm just gonna delete at the collar. All right. Again, there's already a lot of limbs over here. There's on this one, it forked out like 5 different directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This little one under here, you can't even see it. 5 and 6. I only want to leave 2, going with the strongest. So strongest is this one. This one's a underperformer. Bam. This one is just injured. Nothing's pointing in this direction. I want to fill in this direction, so it's a little weeny, but I want it to fill in this direction since it's not going to intersect with anything. So okay, let me come to this one. Again, I lift it up, look under. And sometimes there's none. Well, there's one. There's one way back here, or over here at the tip. And we're gonna leave the tip one. Open. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the tip one. This one's pointing down. This one is pointing down. So at the collar. This one's pointing straight down at the collar. So yeah, there was like 6 of them. I left 1, 2, 3, 4. It's too much, but we'll see. I always revise my prunes. I could always come back. And then this one going towards the center. I want open center, so delete that. This one pointing towards the neighboring tree. Delete that. And there. And this one right here, it forked out like in so many different directions. So this one's pointing towards the neighboring tree. Delete. Delete. And it's gonna come back right there. And this delete. These little ones delete. And this is last year's prune. So yeah, that was it. Quick little walk around. These are 2 in the hole. This is a path that I'm trying to keep clear because it's 2 in a hole, 20 inches apart. To the right, we have the emerald drop pluot and the Flavor Delight aprium. They're not each other's pollinator. Flavor Delight aprium is self-fruitful. Having another aprium or apricot helps. And then this is a multi-graft. This is apricot, and then that's Santa Rosa plum. Santa Rosa plum is the emerald drops pollinator. So, all right, so that was the prune. Here comes the spray. Close your eyes. Cover your face when you do it. This is the formulated liquid cop and horticultural oil. So for sure, hit the wounds. You want to cover the tree's entire surface with the liquid cop. It'll suffocate any fungal disease. So be sure to get the underside. The ends, get the wounds. And move around, hit it from different angles. Hit it from different angles so that you're sure that you covered the tree's entire surface area. Okay. Next up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and like 7 feet down is the Flavor Supreme Pluot. Let me get the label. Flavor Supreme Pluot. This is a pretty vigorous tree. If you can see, it's the biggest one. It's the biggest one of the Dapple Dandy, Flavor Queen, and Flavor Supreme. It's the biggest one. My only concern with this is the chill hours. It says 700 to 800 hours. And so that's kind of where we're at. We're like at 700, but it says 700 to 800. So I don't know what this tree's gonna do, but this has tons of limbs. All right, let me get the pruning, shears, and disinfect real quick. Shout out to the 3 people who are still with me. Thanks for the support. So here we go. This limb right here. It's pretty long. So it's coming back by 50%. So this one limb forked out in like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm only gonna keep 3. So I'm coming up, I'm looking. Bam, right here. There's one right here, and there's another one right here that I want to take off more. Okay, that's one. You can see the wound. Next we go over to this one. So coming up right there. Again, I'm taking off a lot or more. I want to keep my trees short. And then all these right here I'm cleaning up. Probably would have been fruit, but I'm in a rush. I can fruit these trees. You can fruit them to death if you force them to hold fruit too early. And then this one's going back towards the center. So coming around, banana. So again, check out that little spider. Sorry, spider. But I'm cutting. So right here, there's this one right here pointing in this direction. And I want to take off more. That one. So check it out. So it has this one forked out into the 1, 2, 3, 4. However, this one's going to intersect with the lower one. So I'm taking it off. I'm taking this one off. And this is some budwood right here. Actually, I should be saving it. And then this one down there. What's the time? If anybody's got the time, comment the time. So right here, this is on intersecting and it's pointing down. So this one I just wanted to continue to grow out. So I'm just leaving the one. This is pointing up. I prefer under swooping. And right here, it should be good. Coming around. These ones in the middle. Too busy. He's just too busy. This one pointing inward. This one's going to intersect with this one. And they're just too small. And here we go. There's a lot of limbs right here. So decisions. So this one would eventually intersected. Sorry. This one would have intersected with the one I just finished pruning. So I'm looking for an under swooping one with a slight correction pointing in this direction rather than just going in that direction. Let me get you in there. So yeah, these two. Like, if you just imagine several years down the line, these two will eventually intersect. You could close one eye and you could see. Eventually they'll intersect. So I kind of want a correction. This is under swooping right here and in this direction. So that's a good one right there. That's a correction. Bam, let's do that. And then this one, it's just too small. Cut that one. And then this one, it's just going kind of straight up. So I'm bringing it back. Pretty significant. Coming up. So there's one right here. low, or the next one would be right there. I'm gonna do this one. And then this one right here is gonna intersect with this other one right here. Look, bam, you see that intersection? So it's a good limb, but again, I'm only leaving this one limb forked out to 2. Okay, moving along. This one forked out 1, 2, 3. And these little ones coming off. That would have been fruit. But again, ooh, bad cut, guys. Okay, so 3. So this one. Lift it up. Right here. Now this one. Right here. This one like that. I made a correction. You see how it pivots? See that angle? So I made that correction. That was last year's prune. Good. So that pivot and then this other one. So it was like 2 corrections within the same year. Again, so this, bye-bye. Bye-bye. And now this one. It's coming back pretty significantly. Damn, right there. This one in the 3. On intersecting branches, this one will eventually intersect with that one. So delete. And then this one will eventually intersect with these other ones. So delete. That one's not forking out. I'm just leaving the one. And then I come to the end of it. That was last year's prune right here. Last year's cut. So you'll be able to tell how old the tree is by the cuts. So these are 1 and then 2. You'll be able to see. Right here. See that? That's 2. So it's gonna fork out right there. That's 2. Shout out to the 2 people who stayed with me. It's probably my and again a bunch of flowering bud, but again, it's not the priority right now. All in due time. Fruit tree teaches you patience and perseverance, because you're not going to get it at the first try. You have an idea like, well, I'm going to put this tree down. Mother Nature has other plans, bro. So it teaches me to just keep trying. This is a pretty interesting case right here. See, look, they're already about to intersect. But I can make a correction. Let me see if I find something. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right here. Kind of side. Night work, yeah, bro. I get like, so I'm behind, dude. Shout out to House of Blue Pits. I'm behind, dude. Like doing a bunch of work, but I want to spray 3 times. So this had the shot hole and the scale. My Flavor Supreme Pluot had the shot hole and the scale, so I'm spraying with the horticultural oil and the liquid cop. And so you need to spray 3 times, 10-day intervals. And then on the last spray, I time it with right before the flower burst. And so I'm behind. I might only get 2, but I'm just taking advantage of this break in the rain. It's been raining, because supposedly if it rains within the next 48 hours, it could get rinsed away. Some say it doesn't, but I'm thinking that it might, so I just take precaution and try to spray when there's a opening, when there's a window opening in the rain. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Hey, you seen my dog? She's a great granddaughter to Remy. And I didn't patch her over though. I didn't patch her over to Bully. She's still UKC APBT. And I'm looking for a male, bro. So if you know anybody who didn't patch over, and I wouldn't mind if it's kind of more game bred, because I run like 3 hours. 3 hours. Yeah, right. Like, 3 miles 2-3 times a week whenever I can get it in, if I'm pent up, stressed. So yeah, and then on her mom's side, she's just like line bred, like niece to uncle, Bullseye's Most Wanted or something, like Razor's Edge, dude. Like, so she's pretty solid, bro. She's classic. Even then, she'll tap out. She was more like her dad. She's more heavy like her dad. Had she been more like her mom, she would have been able to hang. But she's more like that. Remy, on her dad, bro, she's Remy. Her dad's like Remy and Gotti. So he's just heavy. Let me clean this one up. So yeah, this is the Flavor Supreme Pluot. Leovani Lopez. Keep it up, brother. Good content. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, this is the Flavor Supreme Pluot. And again, there's always like these little nubs that sometimes I forget. I'll revise my pruning every time I spray. So it's, again, 3 sprays before it breaks dormancy is ideal. But sometimes 2 is all you can get. So now we spray. Spray, move it around, hit it from different angles. You want to cover the entire tree surface, and you want to get the underside. So angle the nozzle up without getting yourself. So stand back a little. Use the wand. And then move it around, hit it from different angles. So I usually hit it from like 4 different points. Next up's gonna be the Flavor Queen. Flavor Queen. So this is next to its pollinator. And then hit the wounds too, for sure. Hit the ends, the wounds. All right. What insects that has scale? They have scale, and then the liquid cop should help with the shot hole. So yeah, Dapple Dandy, Flavor Supreme, and the Flavor Queen all have scale. Last year I only sprayed with the liquid cop targeting fungicide. This is my first year spraying with the horticultural oil. Right now we're at the Flavor Queen. All right, once again, they both have the same diseases, but it's just like the practice of the consistency of disinfecting your pruning shears. So let me get the alcohol. So some even say like the entire handles and stuff, but I just do the blade, both sides. And just snip. So I can see that the entire surface is wet. You know, this one's kind of not a pain, but there's a lot. So I'm gonna move along a little bit faster. The scale, dude, I don't know, it's just ugly. It's like rust. And I mean, there's like little insects sucking on your plant. So, I mean, it's definitely taking up some nutrition. But yeah, you'll see it on the leaves. It's just like covered with rust. And you'd think it's fungal, but they say it's a tiny little mite, like a little insect. So This is Flavor Queen. Flavor Queen. So I'm going to be moving along faster. You guys already know the drill. Intersecting branches, pointing towards the center, and disease. There's not like any dark dying disease. So it's mainly just shaping, really. So and so this worked out. This worked out pretty crazy over here. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna leave 3. This one. I mean, I could. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the 1. Call it a day. So, bam. Just 1, dude. Just keep it low. I came back. So it was 4, 5 of them, 6 of them. I forget what it was, but I'm leaving it to the 1. Because this one, it's spoked out pretty good. There's, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's plenty of spoke, like branches that's spoked out from the main trunk. And so this one, I don't want it forking out too much. I just want to continue to grow. And then we come up, lift the branch, look for an under swooping bud right here. So yeah, that's it. Let's see this one. Again, cleaning it up. This one wanted to take off, but look, I train. I prune and train. Tied that string to a brick. Brick's down there. This one's kind of on top. I prefer under swooping, because the angle on this, supposedly textbook, they say it could break. And this one intersecting. This one's on top, so I'm gonna go with the under one. Sorry. So this one's on top, and I'm gonna go with this other under one. I'm gonna clean that up at the collar. There. And then I'm just gonna leave these 2. This one, pick it up, look for something under swooping. Like right there. This one, right there. This one's on vertical growth, 2 up. Cut that. This one, 2 weenie. And I'm just leaving 2. I left 2, but now I come up on this one. Look for an under. And then this one, now we move along. This one's on top, favoring the under swooping one. And then all these little ones have to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 3. But you know what? This is towards the fence, so I'm gonna go in this direction. This is a correction right here. Damn, I wanted to pull this way. And I come off of this one. Let's see if there's one undershoot. And then this, too vertical. Too vertical. It's pretty vigorous, but it's too vertical. At the collar. And then now we're at this one. These ones are coming back because these end ones down here are kind of dark. So I don't know if they're gonna die. So I think I'm gonna bring it back as far back as over here. And then this one. Yeah, and this one on intersecting branches with over here, it's gonna go. So leaving really just the one. So it's gonna be forced to push in this direction. And the last one. Delete. Delete. This one I'm like tucking under the trellis of my espalier apple tree. But it really wants to take up. And so, yeah, there's no buds. If I trim it, it's gonna die. We're just gonna leave it at this. So check it out. There's no under swooping buds. Maybe this one actually. We'll see if it pushes right there. And that's vertical growth. All right. Flavor grenade pluot. Now we spray. And I'm running out of juice, so when I spray again, I'm starting the other way around. I'm gonna do the Dapple Dandy first, then the Flavor Queen, because I'm like at a quarter left. So they all got about like 1/8 of a gallon. Should probably be enough, but still, just so they get sprayed evenly. So again, hit the ends and then all the tree surface from all the different angles. Hit all the wounds. underside too. Just be careful not to spray yourself. Point the nozzle up. Move around, hit it from different angles. Last one. Thank you to the two people. Espalier apple tree. But this is the one we want. The Dapple Dandy. The one who really kicked it off, for real. Like, I was put on the pluots on the Dapple Dandy. I think Flavor Grenade and Emerald Drop might have been like early iterations of the pluot. But this is the one that put pluots on the map, personally, for me. Let me disinfect my shears. Again, this is not a mess, bro, but it definitely, they say these are big trees. So the complaint with the Dapple Dandy in Santa Cruz is that they grow pretty vigorous, but very little fruit. They're saying that they might need the heat. I'm thinking there's not enough cross-pollination, so I hit him with all its pollinators. This is surrounded with all its pollinators in a triangle. So right here, just too busy right here. These two limbs will eventually rub against each other. So I'm gonna eliminate the weaker one. We gotta check out the label. Dapple Dandy. And so this vertical growth, it's tough. Like, I might have wanted to see if it holds some fruit, but no. Again, each limb comes back about like 50% for me. But I know you could come back as much as 2/3 if you want to be really aggressive. But I'll just leave it at 50%. This was last year's prune. So this is year one. That's how you'll know, year one. And then under swooping one right here. Bam, this one will intersect with this other one. But that's a fruiting one. Tempted to leave it, but don't want to overstress the tree. All these lower fruiting buds are coming off. Intersecting. So yeah, this one doesn't even fork out. I just left it at the one. So keep going. This one, bam, right there. This one, cleaning it up. Vertical. So this one I'm gonna leave it. No. This one I'm gonna leave it fork out at 2. So coming up right here on this one. Keep trying to clean it up, but there. And this one, I'm gonna go here, not on like side swooping in this direction. And this one, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna cut it. All right. Now just 2 left. That one. Oop. It's super busy down here. So vertical. And we're just gonna see what the hell this does. There's a lot of fruiting down there. This one intersecting. No, not really. Yeah, intersecting. Clean it up. And so let me see. Decisions. That came back way too much. But there was no bud. Intersecting. See that? No, hold on, you don't. Intersecting. See? Intersecting. See that X? Intersecting. I'm exaggerating it, but you can imagine down the line they're gonna cross. And so really I have my cup already right here, my open center. But that one right there went that way. And so that one's like heavily trained in espalier. I'm gonna train it to go horizontal along the fence. So that was a Dapple Dandy. This one was a long one. Thank you to the 2 people who stuck with me. Thank you to Leobani Lopez. Thank you to House of Blue Pitbulls Long Beach. True supporters commenting. I mean, everyone's a supporter. I appreciate everyone's support. But I do appreciate the conversation and the comments and the feedback. All right. Last one. Till the juice runs out. Again, mask up, gloves up. Hit the banana leaf. And move around. Up and down the trunk. The wounds. Underside. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in. That was pruning and spraying of my pluots and apriums in Santa Cruz, California. Have a good night.